So it's interesting. We live in a society where the big common phrase now is see something, say something. But when you actually do see something and say something, you are the person that's in the wrong because you offend other people. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. It's really pathetic in my opinion. So today, I'm leaving work, walk out to the parking lot, and I see this man walking through the parking lot extremely slowly, not wearing a uniform, can't see a badge, anything like that, walking really slowly, continually checking out different vehicles, and he stopped and he walked. The time it took me to walk out to my car, I passed him walking out toward the parking lot. He then at that point proceeded to turn around, walk back, walk up an aisle, back down an aisle, and then start walking back toward the back of the parking lot, not toward the exit anymore. So I was like, this is odd. Something's not right with this situation. I'm gonna get in my car for a second, keep an eye out and see what's happening over here, and see what happens. So I get in my car, and I watch him slowly walk up to a car, open up the passenger door, and start reaching inside the passenger door. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna drive up toward that parking spot and just to see if I can see what's going on. Make sure this guy is supposed to be here. It could just be somebody who works here who just left something in his car, but it could also be somebody who's here scouting the parking lot and seeing if he could find an open door. So I drive my car out to the end of the aisle, and I look over 2 rows to the right of me, and you can see he looks at me and he sees that I was watching him, and it's almost like he hides behind the passenger door. So I was like, okay, something's not right here. I drove my car over, stopped in front of him. I'm in my car, and I look out the driver door, and I was like, excuse me, sir. I said, do you work here? And he goes, yeah. And at this point, he's got a cigarette in his mouth. It's not lit, but it's in his mouth. And I said, okay. I can't, he's got a jacket on, I can't see. He's got no uniform. He's wearing like jeans, I can see a jacket. Can't see a badge. And I said, where do you work at? And he said, and he opens up his jacket and he goes, worked here for 20 years. And he pulls his badge out. And I was like, oh, no, it's okay. I said, good. I said, you were just walking through the parking lot in a really strange way. It caught me by concern for a minute. I just wanted to make sure like that, yeah, you actually worked here. And he's like, that's my truck. I drove it here. And I was like, no, I got you. I said, I just looked really weird the way you were walking around the parking lot for a minute. I just wanted to make sure. And he's like, fuck you. And started walking away. And I was like, okay, this guy's mad. I'm just trying to make sure that nothing weird was happening in the parking lot. I want to make sure other people in our parking lot are safe, employees are safe, employees' belongings are safe, that I'm safe, that I have my own stuff, it's protected, it's safe. This guy works here, he proved it. He's got to know, for one, you got a cigarette in your mouth. We're a non-smoking campus. People smoke all the time on the campus. I'm not upset about that, whatever. But it could have been, it definitely showed that this is somebody who doesn't necessarily know the rules of the campus, or they're just not following them. Okay. But he walked back and forth through the parking lot 3 different times, not going toward the exit, without anything definitive to show that he worked there, and he got into the passenger side of a vehicle. You can easily get into the passenger side of your car and get stuff out. I get it. I didn't see him pull out a key fob. I didn't see him do anything like that. I didn't know what was going on. So all I did was stopped and said something, as I believe I should have. He's mad. He storms off. So I start to drive out of the parking lot. I have to loop around the parking lot. I get to the gate. I look over. He's like a couple rows of cars to the next to me when I'm leaving the gate. And as I pull out the gate opens, and as I start to go out, I just watch him running up, starts waving his hand, and just starts flipping me the middle finger. And I stopped the car, and I said, what are you upset with? And he said, man, you need to check yourself. Don't worry about me. And I said, I'm making sure everybody in this parking lot is safe. Nothing bad is going on. You should be happy that I'm checking on the place where you also parked your car. He's like, man, I'm offended. I said, there's no reason to be offended. I didn't do anything to offend you. I was checking on a situation, and I came up to you, and I said something directly to you. Fuck you, man. Fuck you. Just F this, F that. Starts screaming. A buddy of his gets next to him, and he's just like, he goes, what's going on, man? And he just starts yelling at him, saying, fuck you to me the whole time. So I had to drive away. I couldn't do anything. He was just becoming irrational. I don't know if he's offended just because somebody thought that he was suspicious or what. There's no reason to get offended about things like that. I don't know why it has come to a society when everything people can do will offend you. There's no reason to get offended. I didn't go up to him and start screaming at him. I specifically asked, do you work here? Where at? He showed me his badge. Oh, okay. Good, now I'm happy. I made it very clear that, okay, I was just making sure. Why get offended? People are there to protect other people. You should be happy people are looking out for you or the place that you're parking at or other people that you work with, that your coworkers. Why have we become a society that just gets so offended when people question you? People can question me all they want. It will not bother me. If I was walking through a parking lot and somebody was like, "Excuse me, sir, are you supposed to be here?" Be like, "Yes, I work here. Here's my badge." As long as they were like, "Oh, okay," I'm fine. As long as I had a good excuse to be there, a good reason to say I was there. I want you to come up and question me. The fact that people question is what ends up keeping other people in line. If people don't question anything, people can get away with whatever. That's why it's a you see something, you say something state of mind. That's what we've been in for years now. It's a good state of mind to be in. So don't get offended when people actually act upon that. People aren't out to offend you. They're not out to offend me. We're out to protect everybody. Take it from that perspective. It really sickens me that now I feel bad that I offended somebody, but I shouldn't feel bad at all that I offended somebody. Doing something good, in my opinion. This guy's probably going to hate me for the rest of his life. Somebody who works somewhere in my hospital that is going to hate me for the rest of his life because he's offended by something that I did, not trying to be offensive. I see why he's offended. I don't understand why he's offended, especially if he thinks about it. Hopefully he's going to think about it and be like, okay, actually that guy was probably doing something good. Probably not. But either way, there's no reason for us to have this mentality that everything is so offensive. Keep that in mind. For the most part, people are good-natured. They're looking out for everybody else. Everybody is not out to offend people, to steal from people, to do things to people. So when people do something that offends you, think twice about it before you actually get offended and see, are they doing something for the greater good, quote unquote? Are they doing something just to benefit themselves? Are they trying to help other people? There's no reason for us to be in this scenario where we constantly just take everything as offense, right?